Stephen Inez. He's the Chief Global Market Strategist for AxiCorp. He joins me now from Bangkok. Stephen, thank you for your time. Just break down these numbers for us. GDP shrinking by 6.8%. What does it actually mean for China, and how does it affect the next few quarters in the country?
Obviously, on the surface, the number is quite negative, but based on market expectations, it's not really coming in as that much of a surprise, considering the nationwide mobility restrictions where most businesses were shut in January and February. The good silver lining is the industrial production number. This is key here in the overall analysis. Sure, there's no sugarcoating the GDP and the dreadful retail sales. However, when production side starts to pick up, it usually suggests that normalizing and the end consumption rates will go up. This is when people start getting money back in their pocket. Listen, it's not an easy solution. Economic models aren't very accurate right now because people are still fearing the virus. They just don't want to go out and spend their money. So we're really going to have to pay much attention to this data over the next month or two to see how this pans out.
So, Stephen, you talk about the industrial production numbers, but when we're looking at demand from around the world, how big a demand is there for goods at the moment, considering most people are actually at home?
Yeah, great question. You know, the consumption export engines that China normally sends are just not there right now, and this is the thing. This is why, however, today with the U.S. markets apparently starting to reopen again, this is a good sign, suggesting that yes, these supply chains may be normalizing, not immediately, but in the next few months. So we're starting to see a little bit more flow into China's equity markets based on the world reopening again, thereby opening those supply chains.
Stephen, ordinary consumers, me and you, I mean, how is this going to impact people around the world? Not only what's happening in China, but also the slow resumption of the U.S. economy.
But yeah, ultimately, you know, we're all in the same boat here, and it's nobody wants to go out. Nobody's too eager to jump on a plane once the travel restrictions get dropped. And certainly, people are very, very conscious about social distancing when they're even at the shopping malls right now. I think this is going to continue on. I think the world as we knew it back in February 2020, it's going to take a long time to normalize back to that point again. I think social restrictions, distancing restrictions are going to be in place for months ahead, and I think people are going to continue restricting those.
Yeah, an interesting time ahead for all of us. Stephen Inez, live to us there from Bangkok. Really appreciate your time.